Julian, over here. First of all, congratulations on the victory. At Media Day, you said that fighters like Hakeem, the high-level strikers, are the types of fighters that you excel against, because of your style. So is it safe to say this is how the fight played out as you expected in there?
Yeah, I think Hakeem's idea of my striking was going to be rudimentary, and he was going to kind of blow through me. But the problem is when you train, the standard kickboxing, and then you fight someone that's like, a bit unusual, it's really hard to take down their timing. And so I think he was having a really hard time in the first round. And I don't think he was able to catch on to my timing and my range and my a little bit unusual striking.
Did you hear his comments at Media Day where he kind of dismissed your style of striking? He said he's just not. Your style of striking is just nothing compared to what he's fought.
Yeah, no, and that's what I thought, And but people don't understand. And it's not even that. It's it's cardio, it's pace, it's attitude, man. Like you can be the best striker in the world, but if you don't have the ability, if you don't have the heart to push the pace, things go out the window. They say, you punch a black belt in the face, he turns into a brown belt. It's the same on the feet. You punch a guy in the face, his skill level starts to drop. And I think I have the attitude that's really hard to deal with some guys, especially clean technical strikers. I want to get in your face, I want to get it dirty, and I don't mind getting punched to punch you. So I think he likes to be clean, and if he can't be clean, it frustrates him.
You were finding a lot of success with that uppercut throughout the fight. Is that something you trained specifically for this fight, or you just saw it in the moment?
I learned that from street fighting techniques that I learned back when I was a kid. No, I like to grab the back of the head, and I just chuck that uppercut because a lot of people will just, you pull their head down and start hitting them. And I'm a tall guy, so I get a lot of guys that kind of duck under. So the uppercut works well. The problem with that is sometimes if you're trying to hit an uppercut, your hand is low so they can come over the top. So every time I can clench somebody like that, I know I can get a couple free shots. And I definitely felt like I hurt him a few times with that uppercut.
You were also pretty excited to have the big cage, so you have more room to work in there. So how was it having more space to fight?
I walked in there and I didn't even realize I didn't seem much bigger than the Apex. I don't know. I don't know if it was just I don't know if I just was like my eyes were bigger or something, but I've been really trying to focus on seeing everything, and I think that helped me out because sometimes when you get tunnel vision, it looks a lot bigger, and just trying to be in the moment and see everything, I think helped out. But yeah, for me, it didn't really seem much bigger than the Apex. When I was imagining it being bigger, I thought it was going to be a huge landscape because last time I was in the MGM for a pay-per-view when I fought in 2016, it seemed huge. And I think it was because it was tunnel vision for me. But it didn't seem much bigger than the Apex.
In that third round, Daniel Cormier on the commentary was using the first two rounds you very clearly won.
Yes.
He said, fights like this are the why I don't like open scoring because if you're up, you're up 2-0, you might coast in the third round. So what is your take on that?
Was he thinking I was coasting?
I don't know if he was saying you were, but he said like this is a type of fight fighters might coast if they're up 2-0. I
mean, for sure. I was up 2 rounds, and usually it doesn't matter to me. Like usually I'm really trying to just finish somebody 100% of the time, but I had my coaches in my ear telling me to be patient. Sometimes you can get in trouble with a guy like Hakeem. I don't want to just take him lightly in the third round, be like, oh, I got this, and he hits me with a jumping knee or an overhand right, and I get knocked out, and I lost a fight I should have won. So, and I don't think I was coasting at any point. I don't know if he was saying that or not, but
I think he was just using this fight as an example.
I mean, even when I had his back, I was really trying to pepper him up, and I think the only time I bloodied him up was when I had his back and I was peppering him up with my knuckles in the front and the elbows from the side.
What was your reaction when he came in overweight on Friday?
Yeah, I used to get upset when people miss weight, but now I love it, man. It's Peterson missed weight, and I made a lot of money off Peterson because of the fight of the night, and so I encourage and actually am happy if people miss weight because I know I'm going to get paid. And like I was telling somebody earlier, by the time they're going to miss weight, I've already rehydrated because I've made weight at 9 o'clock, and they miss weight at 10:30, and 10:30 I'm probably like 10 pounds heavier than I was. So I don't think there's even an advantage. I mean, they didn't really kill themselves like I had to kill myself. I'm a big guy, man, and but I don't feel sorry for guys that miss weight because or taking their money because they weren't worried about when I was about to die in my garage making weight. So he apologized to me, and I appreciate the professionalism, but the money that got sent my way is even better.
What happened in your garage that you almost died?
Oh no, I was cutting weight in my garage, I'm a big guy, so cutting weight you feel like you're dying, and I was in my garage cutting weight. The last 3 pounds suck for me too, bro. Like I'm 6'1", man. I'm a big guy, and Hakeem has the weight to lose. He's made weight. He's fought 8 times in the UFC and made weight every single time. So the fact that he missed weight is really unusual to me. I don't know what's going on with him, maybe in his mindset or his career. So I wish him all the best. But, I come here to make weight. There's too much money on the line to be giving percentages away. I already give percentages to management and coaches and that kind of thing. I don't want to give percentages to my opponent. And if he wants to take my paycheck, he's going to have to come get it. You know what I'm saying?
Finally, when do you want to get back in there? And now that you do have this big win, at one point can you start choosing fighters that you would like to fight down the line?
I think the only fight I really got that I chose was the Peterson fight. Honestly, I loved the Dawodu fight because I knew he was going to stand and bang. I knew he wasn't really going to care about taking people down, and I was willing to exchange with him. And I'm pretty much healthy, and I took a little too much time off in between the Peterson fight and this fight. But it was a good time for me to really kind of reset. But I would be willing to fight, before the year's up for sure. I would really just like to fight another striker, guys like that Luis Saldana is a long, lanky striker. I think he would be a fun one. Caceres, I've always wanted to fight Caceres, but I don't even know what he's got going on. But long, lanky strikers are always fun because this is what I am, and I think we can mix it up and have a fight of the night.
Hey, Julian. Right here.
Hey.
I'm just curious how much the craziness of the last few days affected you. Were you at all worried that the card might not happen? What was going on maybe just in your mind?
No, I wasn't worried about the card not happening. I was just, I was just kind of entertained by the whole situation anyways, seeing how they had to basically took 3 of the main fights and, shuffled them around and made it work. It almost seemed like it was planned a little bit, but who knows what the situation was. But it didn't affect me. Me and Hakeem were the main event of the prelims, and I was just focused on that. I'm focused on one thing and one thing only, and that's winning my fight. And so everything else is just whatever. I'm glad the fight happened I'm glad the fight card stayed intact because I think it actually made it to be a better card with the matchups now.
Do you think if it was if you were one of those 6 fighters, if you would have been able to kind of switch around that easily, or do you feel like, what's the mindset of hey, I've got a new opponent in 24 hours? Would you have been able to do that?
Man, I took Sean Woodson on 3 days' notice. I fought Jourdain on 10 days' notice. And money talks. I know they renegotiated their contracts and probably made a pretty penny for some of the switch offs. So. I know the UFC really appreciates guys that are willing to step up in these types of situations, and if it happened to me, I would have been just as willing to do it as they were.
Hey, Julian, over here in the back.
Oh, hey,
What are your plans to buy with Hakeem's money?
Drugs, baby, a lot of drugs. My wife handles all my finances because if it was up to me, I'd probably be blowing it on things I shouldn't have. But honestly, just try not to think about the money. I'm honestly just thinking about the career, man, and just being in the UFC and enjoying the win, man. The win's the most important thing. The money's, separate, and if I can, put more money away for later on in life, that's great. I just want to be able to go in there and perform to my fullest abilities, and I was able to do that tonight, so I'm satisfied with the win more than the money.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Hey, Julian, straight ahead. Speaking of the money, 2-1 underdog, betting dog this weekend.
Let's go.
The consensus across the betting world is that you're not the dog. You were the safest bet of the week.
Yeah.
Easy money, good value. Do you pay attention to that stuff at all? Do you tell your buddies to bet you? What's that like going in?
I'm a bit of a gambler myself, but my wife, tries to hold me, pull the reins in on that. But I seen I was the underdog, and I think it's just people who, it's a little weird when I'm the underdog because I have the last 5 fights that I had before this, 4-1 against Jourdain, Nate Landwehr, Sean Woodson, Steven Peterson, even you got guys like this that I'm beating. And having great fights and exciting fights. You never see me go out there and fold. I'm not going to fold. If you're going to win, if you're going to beat me, you're going to have to turn me off. So, the fact that I was that big of an underdog is a bit, skeptical. And I think, but, Hakeem's been around. He's been in the top 15 and or around that area. So I think that's maybe where that came in. And, the guys that are making these betting odds aren't in the gym training with me. They're not in the gym training with Hakeem, so they don't really know what's going on behind the scenes.
Next fight, you expect to be a little closer to even money there, considering who it is, but would you be surprised being a big dog next fight?
You know what? I like being the underdog. I really enjoy that. And I like my friends to make money off of me, too. I like people betting on me and making money. So to be the underdog, I actually appreciate that more than being the favorite.
Awesome. Congrats.
Thank you.
Did you feel that the weight issue that Hakeem had, did you feel that it affected his performance any tonight? Did you feel him lacking any?
I guarantee you, if you can't beat the scale, you're not going to beat me. So like, and anybody can get, anybody can win any given night. But like in an all-out fight, if neither one of us get finished, you're not going to beat me if you can't even beat the scale. And I think mentally, it was a lapse of his judgment maybe, but also a little bit of his preparation or even mental focus and fortitude. I mean, I go and run like 15 miles like on my rest days because I know it's going to help me get my body leaner to make the weight. Like I said earlier, I'm a big featherweight. You look at me, I stand next to Hakeem, I probably look like I'm in a different weight class because I'm a big guy and I make the weight. And like I said earlier, I kill myself to make the weight, but I'm also willing to die in the cage. And I think if you're not willing to kill yourself to make the weight, how can you be willing to die in the cage? And I think you've seen a little bit of that tonight with Hakeem.
That being said, when you came in, did you feel like you had a little bit of an edge on him going into tonight just because of that?
Yeah, for sure. When you're in a cage with somebody, you can kind of feel the tension and the sway of things kind of going back and forth that normal people outside aren't seeing, but you can kind of just feel it. And I just felt like he was like okay with just surviving until maybe he could throw something big at me, like almost like a Hail Mary. And I felt like I was in control of the fight the entire time and never really had a lapse in my judgment. So, like I said before, if you're having a lapse of judgment with the weight the day before you fight, you're going to have that in the cage as well. And I think I felt that for sure.
And maybe with that, with the confidence, it seemed like your hands and your striking seemed maybe the better that I've seen in quite some time. Did it feel like that when you were in there? Did you feel like everything you were throwing was coming out perfect?
Yeah. Thank you so much for saying that because it's nice to get acknowledged for the things that you're working on. And, I always have, the ability to, like, brawl with somebody and have the toughness for that. But to be able to technically outstrike someone who is a striker, who prides themselves on being a striker, is something I look forward to more than just brawling. And I'm willing to brawl. Like I was willing to at any given time just just go for it. But it was a lot better. It's more satisfying to outstrike the striker.
Awesome. Congrats on the victory.
Thank you so much.
Julian, congrats on the big win.
Yes.
As someone who lives in Vegas, you cut weight in your garage. That's insane.
Well, it's 100 degrees, man, and I got a Peloton in there. I got a sauna, and I just run, bike the weight off, and I don't want to get my house dirty, so I'm sweating, and when I'm getting low on weight and I have to, I've got to pee, I just hammer it out. I'll just pull it out in the garage and just pee and keep going. I don't got enough energy to go inside.
Right on, man. You look tremendous today. Congrats on that big win. You look tremendous. Congrats on the big win.
Thank you.
Everything looked like it was firing on all cylinders. That third round where you could have coasted, but you opted not to, you got more fired up. What were you saying? Because you got all in the zone. What was going on there?
Oh, well, my coach was talking about control his right hand with my right hand to try to get the rear naked choke. But I had watched one of Hakeem's fights, and Evolov had his back the entire fight and couldn't rear naked choke him. And Evolov's a good grappler, so I figured, I'm not saying if Evolov couldn't rear naked choke him, then I can't. But I had told my coach when he was saying right hand to right hand and like try to sink in, and I was like, I just want to punch him, coach. I'm sorry, I just want to punch him because I figured he was going to be a hard and difficult guy to finish from the back. But I could pepper him up and and just show everybody that I was still trying to hurt him in those spots and not just trying to coast.
Okay, and two quick things for me. How bad does your knee hurt? Because you landed a flying knee in the first round, and that looked like a ender right there. That was a game changer. How he walked back to his cage from that corner, you're like, wow, he's got a chin on him.
No, he for sure has a chin on him. There was like probably 3 or 4 times, even in the first round itself, I seen his eyes kind of roll back, and I seen his legs shake, and I was like, it's only 1 or 2 more punches, but I was trying to be a bit more measured and not just explode on him, even though I knew I had the cardio to do that and still be able to last if he was able to withstand the onslaught. For him to be able to round after round, I think probably like 5 or 6 times I heard him in the entire fight, was able just to keep his composure and hold on, was pretty impressive on his end.
Yeah, no doubt, man. And that Caceres fight sounds fantastic.
Yeah.
You said tall, lanky, paging Hooper.
Yeah, I mean, Hooper's cool too. I mean, the only thing with Hooper is he's not much of a striker. He's kind of just a grappler. And he's a little bit, he's young, he's new to the sport. I don't think they would want to put him against me. But, like I said, long, lanky strikers are just fun to go with, or actually, honestly, any striker. You know, I like to mix it up with these guys, especially guys that think that they're better strikers, because I always, I kind of take them off their own game plan in the beginning of the fight, and it's really interesting to see how they try to adjust from there.
Right on, my man. Well, congrats on the win. Well done.
Thank you so much.
Barboza's fighting Taporia.
Oh, Jesus.
How about that one?
That's a good one, yeah.